In an idyllic almond orchard in Bakersfield, a hellish discovery is made.
They find the bloodied body of a male lying face up in the dirt, and they call police.
A mystery woman is on the run, but two detectives are hard on her heels. Who is in love and who is in hate? When Todd doesn't come home, police dig deep. The game is on, and this killer is playing for keeps. Bakersfield, California, in the seat of Kern County, is founded in 1869 by Thomas Baker, who reclaimed swamplands along the nearby Kern River. Just 2 hours north of Los Angeles on the Kern River and known for its arid, scorching summers. Residents are proud of their agricultural community, with local carrots, oranges, and almonds. And they serve up some of the most delicious and renowned Basque food on the West Coast. Bakersfield is a cheaper alternative to other areas in California, but as a big oil company town, it ranks at the top of the list for pollution. It's also got the reputation as a dangerous city, and the violent crime rate is one of the highest in the United States.
Bakersfield, California, August 25th, 2013. The almond orchard workers have started their day early to beat the heat, but they've made a grim discovery.
The location is a pretty almond orchard off Enos Lane and Noriega Road, northwest Bakersfield. They find the bloodied body of a male lying face up in the dirt, and they call police.
Unfortunately, criminal activity is not uncommon in these places. In this case, the almond groves provide a shield for murder.
Police arrive on the scene.
There's a male victim who appears to have been shot to death. The sunglasses and wallet are near the body, the cell phone about 40 feet away.
The police look at tire marks and footprints, but the victim's shoes are clean. He hasn't set a foot on the ground there.
Police identify 45-year-old Todd Chance of Bakersfield, California, by his wallet.
This is the hardest thing detectives ever have to do. They go to notify his family.
Todd Chance has a wife and 3 daughters. When the police go to the Chance house, they find his wife Jana and his stepdaughter Jessica moving old furniture into Jessica's car. When Jana sees the police officers, she fears there's been a car accident. That's her first thought, but the news is even worse.
Todd Chance is born in Shafter, a small city in Kern County, just 18 miles west-northwest of Bakersfield.
Todd loves horses, off-roading, and he and his brother beg their parents for pigs to raise. He's the kind of kid that loves to be outdoors doing farm work. As Todd grows up, he becomes a handsome kid. He loves the mystique of the cowboy and is always wearing cowboy shirts, the belt buckles, the boots. He loves that image. Todd also loves guns, and he drives a flashy '76 Mustang. Girls definitely take notice of him, and they flirt with him constantly.
Todd goes to work in asset protection at a drugstore, and there he meets Jana. She's a divorced mother of 1 daughter, Jessica.
Jana is attracted instantly to Todd's rugged good looks, but she has no interest in dating a player.
She's been burned before, left by her ex when she was pregnant. She doesn't want to let herself be vulnerable to a bad guy ever again.
But Todd is a gentleman. After about a year of dating, they get married. At the wedding, Todd presents his stepdaughter with a pearl bracelet with her name on it, her own wedding gift.
Todd shows himself to be a loving and thoughtful stepfather. He and Jana go on to have 2 daughters of their own.
Todd and his girls are very close. He loves being a dad. He graduates from his Mustang to a black sports car and is known to surge his exhaust just to get some attention in the neighborhood. He lavishes as much care on his cars as he does on his daughters. Eventually, Todd becomes a professional truck driver, but makes sure he can stay close to home because his family is his top priority.
But now that the worst has happened, the family needs all the help and support they can get.
Todd's parents rush to the side of Todd's family, and police inform them that Todd has been found shot to death.
We're just starting with this thing. We've got a lot to do with stuff.
When did this happen?
We don't know on that. We don't know anything yet.
Where did it happen?
We don't know that yet either.
Where was he shot?
There's some things that we're not able to tell you a little bit.
They can't understand how this could have happened.
Are you sure that it's Todd? I mean, are you sure?
Police established that Todd isn't into drugs or gambling. He wasn't a man with dangerous habits. So the clock is ticking here. We're really into that crucial stage of the investigation, often referred to as the first 48 hours, where investigators really want to speak with everybody they can as soon as they can, while people's memories are fresh, while video surveillance is still available and not recorded over. Environmental factors may not be affecting physical evidence at the scene. Really is a crucial time. Todd's wife tells police it's really a typical day. Janae spends her Sunday morning watching TV, doing laundry, working on her computer. There's nothing out of the ordinary, but she's waiting for a delivery. Janae and Todd's two daughters still live at home, and they can confirm this. The one daughter comes down around 9:30 a.m. and sees her mom briefly, and the other comes down around 10 a.m. Janae tells police that she sees Todd around 7:30 or 8 that morning when Todd leaves to take his dad to a gun show.
He told me he was going with you to the gun show, but I didn't know if you guys were meeting there.
But that's news to Todd's father. He had no plans to go with Todd to a gun show.
I haven't talked to him today. Well, I started calling him a little before 9 and he wouldn't answer. I called him probably 5 minutes before 9. I called him about 10 after 9. So after he was still asleep.
His family can never imagine what the police have to tell them when they first call.
Todd's body is found west of town, and that's opposite to the direction where the gun show would have been.
I don't understand why he was way out west of town like that.
I think that's what it
They left.
We don't know yet.
Todd does have a very desirable vehicle, so it's starting to look like this may have been a carjacking.
Put up a fight for his car. Someone tried to take it.
Oh, yeah.
You think so? See, I don't think he would.
I think he would.
Police ask Janae to check, and Janae finds a gun missing from Todd's collection.
And he owns several guns and 2 handguns, and one of them is missing.
Yes,
And that is the
38.
Maybe he brought his .38 revolver with him for protection that day, or maybe he brought it to sell or trade at the gun show.
But detectives began to wonder if Todd really was going to the gun show.
Todd appears to be your average family man. He has none of the red flags that would indicate a life leading to foul play.
He doesn't use drugs.
No,
He doesn't drink excessively.
no,
You guys had any marriage problems lately?
no.
No? Everything's the
We
same?
get along.
Okay.
Yes, we always do. We don't fight.
Okay.
Authorities need something to go on, and fast.
Then police get a call. Todd Chance's car has been found.
They rush to the scene. They need those clues while they're fresh. They're on the trail of a killer.
Todd's cell phone reveals explicit photos of an unknown woman and flirty texts.
Janae is blindsided by this, as she has always been secure in her relationship.
You're caught, okay? You'll probably be on a TV show someday.
When family man Todd Chance is found dead in an almond orchard, his family and police struggle to understand what has happened. A freewheeling person with a penchant for flashy cars, his family states that he's headed to a gun show that morning. But his car is found in the opposite direction of where the show is. A .38 revolver is missing from Todd's collection, and his plans for the morning don't seem to make sense. Police suspect a possible carjacking, and when the car is located, they rush to the scene.
Detectives respond to a call at a location that's 20 miles away from the almond orchard where Todd's body was found on Tiger Flower Drive. The car is noticed by a neighbor who's afraid that the black sports car is so showy it might get stolen. The area is notorious for crime.
The car is dusty, but otherwise completely intact, so not really what you'd expect to see after a violent carjacking.
Strangely, detectives find the car is unlocked, and a gun that matches the description of the gun missing from the Chance home sits clearly there on the floor of the car.
And the car key sits there too, right in view.
That the gun could be the murder weapon is possible, but the fact that it's left in plain sight doesn't make much sense. One would expect that if a murder occurred in the spur of a moment, the killer would run away and attempt to dump the gun somewhere where they believed it wouldn't be found.
Police are beginning to think this is looking less like a carjacking and more like someone really wants this car to be stolen.
Detectives send police out to canvass the neighborhood. The smallest clue or the smallest little bit of information provided by somebody who may have seen something, that could mean everything to the case.
And earlier, you checked on his debit card.
Yeah.
Do you guys have separate accounts or joint accounts?
It's a joint account.
It's a joint account. And the debit card has not been used since last night?
Right.
Todd and Jana share a bank account, so investigators request bank records to determine if there's been any irregular spending. There doesn't appear to be. Todd's habits seem quite normal. They also ask for information relating to text messages that may have occurred between the two of them.
Janae feels good to be busy and helpful, but at the same time, she racks her brain for some detail she's just not remembering that might help to break the case open.
Before she learned of her husband's murder, it had been like any other day in their marriage.
And about what time did you leave this morning again?
7:30. I'm not sure. It was in between 7:30 and 8.
And where do you work at now?
I work at Fairview Elementary.
When Janae and Todd meet, she's got a full schedule. She's juggling 3 part-time jobs, and she's determined to make a success of herself. She finally gets an education degree, becomes a school teacher, and then quickly rises through the ranks to become principal. Now she's earning a 6-figure salary and is the main wage earner for the family.
Janae and her daughters all sleep together that first night when Todd dies, but Janae doesn't get a wink for worry and fear.
Luckily for Janae and the girls, the grandparents are on hand to provide some comfort. It's an unimaginable time for this family.
But police aren't sleeping either. They're working around the clock, and it may have paid off. Detectives find a lead across the street from Todd's car. A witness sees a middle-aged white woman wearing a hat and sunglasses park the Mustang and get out. This mystery woman then hurries south.
Police make a wide sweep for surveillance video from every source possible, going in all directions.
They need to try to track the path of the woman who parked Todd's car.
Residents often underestimate how important security cameras can be. It's assumed the cameras are to watch one's own property. But to catch Todd Chance's killer, it's a lead police desperately need.
Fortunately, a home right near where Todd's car is found has 2 security cameras.
Captured at 9:02 a.m. from across the street is someone walking swiftly along wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, carrying a plastic bag, also appearing to wear a red knapsack. From the video, we can't definitively say that this is a woman, but this person is on the same trajectory at the same time, wearing the same clothes as the person described by the eyewitness as a middle-aged white woman getting out of Todd's car.
The suspect walks south away from Todd's car. Police note a distinctive walk, with the arms swinging up and away from the waist. They continue to scrutinize all the surveillance video from the surrounding area.
They pick up the suspect moving east toward a shopping center.
In this video, the cops can clearly see the suspect looks female. She's wearing the same clothes, carrying the same bags as she walks into the coffee shop, and then she enters the bathroom. When she comes out, she's wearing dark sweats over her clothes and she's changed her shoes, but no purchase has been made. The person who goes in there does not look like the person who comes out.
Police look closer at the image from the surveillance footage, and they discover a yellow-lidded container inside the plastic bag. This container belongs to what's believed to be a popular brand of antiseptic wipes that could be used to wipe down evidence from a crime scene.
All of the things we're looking at in this video indicate an extremely well-developed plan.
After the coffee shop, the mystery woman goes to a big box store and appears to discard items in an outdoor garbage can.
She's definitely acting strange in this video. Police notice that she's hiding behind some crates of manure, and she puts her purse in her backpack. At 9:22, she heads to another big box store and goes to use the payphone. She pulls out a number on a piece of paper and dials. 23 minutes later, she leaves in a cab.
All these snippets from surveillance video fit together like a puzzle. Her clothes are pre-packed, and every stage of the journey appears to be related to something very specific that she does. This is obviously something she's planned out.
Video of the journey of Todd's car comes in as well.
Police find video from a gas station that appears to show Todd's Mustang traveling towards the almond grove about 8 a.m. 26 minutes later, it appears to be headed back to town. At 8:57, it passes by a gas station near to where it's abandoned by the mystery woman.
A timeline is definitely coming together, and police are wondering if this whole gun show thing was just a ruse, and Todd just didn't want his wife to know where he was really going. To get inside his head, police have to consider the clues that they find at the crime scene. Here's a brutal slaying, a man shot point blank with his wallet and shades beside him. But what about his cell phone? It's 40 feet away. Why?
Is there something to be learned from that? What's behind that action? Maybe rage for something that can be found on the cell phone?
The autopsy reveals that Todd had his hand up in a defensive move when the shot was fired at him. The bullet passed through his right hand and into the right side of his chest where it damaged multiple organs. The second bullet enters his chest and moves downwards where it hits his liver. Forensic detectives matched the bullets to Todd's own .38 revolver, which was found in his car.
The cell phone provides both questions and clues for the police. They find what you'd expect, photos of his vacation, of his daughters, but there's also photos of a nude woman, and it's not his wife.
Here's where the circumstances around a seemingly random murder change, and detectives see potential motives everywhere.
Could the mysterious walking woman and the mysterious woman in Todd Chance's secret photos be one and the same?
Police also find texts that lead them to believe there's a lot more to this family man than anyone appears to know.
Todd sends a text to this woman. It says, "Want to play?"
What's going on with Todd? Is he living a double life? This is what the police have to find out. What's the identity of this mystery woman, and who's behind this deadly game of catch me if you can?
When a family man is shot dead, police put together a trail of surveillance videos and follow a mystery woman who flees after parking the victim's car.
It even looks like she's planned to get his vehicle stolen to further cover her tracks.
But when Todd's cell phone is found to hold nude images of a woman, police suspect maybe she and the mystery woman are one and the same.
Since Todd's cell phone reveals explicit photos of an unknown woman and flirty texts, they feel like they should ask his wife if she had any idea that her husband was having an affair.
But Janae is blindsided by this. She says she never checked Todd's phone or social media because she has always been secure in her relationship. She never saw this coming.
Police track the identity of the woman from the photos.
And she turns out to be Todd's first love, Carrie. Todd and Carrie have a well-established past as lovers. But because of the text that Todd sent saying, "want to play," they want to know if Todd and Carrie now have a present.
And were they planning on a future?
Carrie admits that she did send graphic pictures to her ex-boyfriend, Todd.
Carrie is Todd's first big love. They fall hard for each other. They see their future together all the way.
But it's only 5 years later in 1995 that the couple are done.
And it's only one short year later that Todd marries Janae, and boom, suddenly he's got a ready-made family.
Suddenly, he's a stepdad and has a whole new life. Conceivably, that could shock Carrie, who probably imagined she'd be the one to have a family with Todd. Todd's parents say Todd won't talk about the breakup, which makes them wonder if there are bad feelings. Maybe Carrie harbors a grudge. Todd and Carrie run in the same social circle, and they see each other over the years at parties. There don't appear to be any issues, but recently, things change. Carrie admits that after many years, in May 2012, she and Todd reunite over social media. She's now a single mom and a dental assistant. When Todd and Carrie connect, he asks if they can be, in his words, more than just Facebook friends.
They exchange cell phone numbers, and soon they're carrying on a relationship over text. Todd is the one who starts with the flirting, asking Carrie to come over to wash his car in her bikini.
But she keeps Todd at bay. She texts back, "Yeah, right, I don't need a crazy wife after me." In April of 2013, Todd asks for a good photo of Carrie, and she satisfies his request by sending him a group of photos that would be considered X-rated, a series of nude photos of herself.
The marital relations in the Chance household are not sounding so healthy to investigators. It looks possible that Todd is living a double life, and that Janae doesn't know what he's up to while she's working hard at school. And there's always the possibility that Carrie has motive to be angry with Todd.
Carrie claims to the police that she's never even seen Todd in person or spoken to him on the phone in all the time they were carrying on their relationship. And they've fallen out of touch. It's been 5 months since she sent him nude photos.
The text messages between Todd and Carrie back up what Carrie says. When Todd asks, "You want to play?" and she responds, "No way, married man," police still want to check out her alibi. After a thorough check of Carrie's activities, they were able to confirm that she was nowhere near where the murder occurred at the time. She even has witnesses, a parking ticket, and receipts to back up her alibi.
And importantly, police see that the woman in the video doesn't look like Carrie. They don't move the same way.
Police call Janae to come down to the station and pick up Todd's car. But the car has so many bad associations. She never wants to see it again. Janae asked Todd's father to come with her to the station and take the car away.
All right, it'll be about 5 minutes, maybe 3. And then we'll get everything together, okay? All right.
The two are ushered into a room, but they quickly suspect that there's more to this interaction than they were led to believe.
It doesn't seem like we're picking up a car.
Seems like we're gonna be interviewed.
Janae offers her own theory of what could have happened to Todd.
It was like gang related. They'll have these little 14-year-olds that'll come and say they did it all to take the heat because they don't get in as much trouble. And they have to prove, they've got to figure out, did they really do it or did they not? They're just trying to take the ball for someone
Yeah, I've
else.
seen stuff like that on TV, but that's all I know about it. I can't imagine something happened like that to Todd.
Janae seems to be interested in the contents of Todd's cell phone.
I said, when am I going to get his phone back? Because there's like a missing link. There's like a piece of the puzzle that I can't put together.
Man, it's just driving me up the wall. I lay down at night thinking about him. Wake up in the morning, or in the middle of the night, whichever the case might be.
The detectives show Todd's father the surveillance footage and ask if he recognizes the mystery woman. He doesn't. The detectives then show Jana the footage and ask if she recognizes the woman. Jana believes at first that she could be looking at the other woman, but gradually comes to realize that police are interrogating her.
So what happens now?
No, we need to know why.
There's no why.
No, there is a why. There is a reason. You're not a cold-blooded killer. You're really not. I don't think you are. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me.
You're wrong about everything.
Tell me you didn't plan this for weeks.
Jana feels she can prove that this mystery woman in the video isn't her.
People say that's Jana. They look
That
at it
doesn't
and
make
say
sense.
that's Jana.
I don't think that looks like me at all.
For one thing, she's extremely vision impaired, and she would need glasses to be able to walk as confidently as this mystery woman. Jana doesn't own prescription sunglasses, and she believes the woman in the video is quite a bit heavier than she is. As well as not having any motive to kill her husband, Jana doesn't like to shoot guns, and she can't drive Todd's car because it's a standard transmission.
Can't explain that.
I can't either. The only way I can explain it is you were in the car. That's
I
the
was
only
not in the
explanation.
car.
It's the
What?
only explanation.
How do I
Jana.
prove myself that I was home?
Despite everything she tells them, all of her reasons, police get increasingly insistent with her, so much so that she asks for an attorney. And it's at this point that something big happens.
You're caught, okay? You're caught. You murdered your husband. You'll probably be on a TV show someday.
I'm refusing to talk to you because you are yelling at me.
Explain that to me.
So, okay, I want a lawyer. There we go. Will I get rid of you? Because
Yes.
I am not going to respond to you.
Okay. It's because you're a murderer.
No.
Yes. You're under arrest for murder.
Police arrest Leslie Janae Chance on the spot for the murder of Todd Chance.
Detectives have suspected her all along. They feel that when they first told her about the fact that Todd had been murdered, her reaction was not consistent with what they would expect to see in a spouse having been told that news. And to police, her reaction to the video surveillance footage is off as well.
With Janae in custody, police do a search of the Chance house and seize the electronics.
The whole family is in a state of shock. Not only has Todd been murdered, but the three daughters have the remaining parent taken from them and accused of killing their dad. In jail, as Janae waits for arraignment, she worries about her girls. Her glasses are taken from her. She doesn't use contacts. So, she won't even be able to give her children a look of reassurance in court.
But 4 days later, the DA has declined to prosecute, citing the fact that the video footage wasn't sufficient evidence.
They made an arrest too early. They didn't have what they needed to convince the DA's office that this case ought to go forward.
So Janae was free to go. Investigators have jumped the gun here. Janae is relieved and prays that police will now put their efforts into finding the real killer. But detectives still believe Janae is guilty. They haven't given up, and they believe that she is really the only one with a motive: jealousy.
Although Janae claims not to know about Todd's attempt to start an affair with Carrie, police suspect that she's lying. Jealousy, anger would not be inappropriate emotions. Janae was cheated on before she met Todd. She was very careful when she got to know Todd Chance. She said she never wanted to be with another player.
The search of the Chance household reveals several life insurance policies, adding up to close to $500,000.
Janae isn't unnerved by the revelation. She says these are standard policies taken out 8 to 10 years before. Besides, she earns 6 figures. She hardly needs to kill someone for money.
Years pass, and there are theories and questions about Todd's death and the mystery woman's identity, but there's no proof of anything.
In that time, Todd's parents come to believe the suspicions of police. They think Janae has killed their son.
The grandparents hire a lawyer, and they're able to contest one of the life insurance policies so that the money goes to their grandchildren, not Janae. But this causes a big rift in the family.
Janae loses over half her body weight over the next 3 years and gains a new confidence. Perhaps she's finding a way to start over.
But the detective on this case keeps going over the file, and he strongly believes that there is a clue buried in this pile somewhere that could put all these threads together.
He finds what he's looking for in a summer vacation photo that was taken before Todd's death. The family is in a fake police lineup photo from the CSI Experience exhibit in Las Vegas. Then the detective realizes he needs to know exactly what information this crime scene experience consists of.
And the detective jumps on a plane to Vegas. And what does he find? There are 3 crime scene scenarios, one of which involves a woman who kills her husband and drops the body in the desert. Now, for the detective, the clues start to fit together like that puzzle, and he's hot on the trail of his prime suspect again.
The detectives find one fingerprint on Todd's car.
They didn't have enough video surveillance, but more has accumulated.
Why is she caught on film holding the very gun that kills Todd?
The woman in the R-rated photos on Todd Chance's cell phone is found by police, but she has an alibi for the day of his murder. The DA believes the surveillance video detectives have gathered is not enough to prove Todd Chance's wife, Jana, is guilty.
It's a crazy hunch, but when one detective takes a closer look at the family's vacation photos, he noticed that they were at a CSI exhibit in Las Vegas. He decides to go to this exhibit and see exactly what the Chances would have found out about crime scenes. The CSI Experience in Vegas promises to get ordinary people thinking like crime scene investigators. It takes you through every element of a crime scene experience in a very hands-on, immersive way.
With one of the scenarios being a wife who kills her husband and leaves the body in the desert, the detective is understandably curious about just what a visitor could learn.
What we learn about a crime scene from this exhibit could be for a perpetrator to use a payphone and not a cell phone. You'd learn to change your shoes and clothes, which the suspect did in the coffee shop. You'd learn to wipe down the crime scene with antiseptic wipes, much like the ones that were believed to have been in the plastic bag in the coffee shop. And Todd's car was wiped almost completely clean of fingerprints.
There's another photo that stands out for the detective in the big summer holiday. The family are all shooting Todd's gun, even Jana, who purports to hate guns. So why, the detective wonders, is she caught on film holding the very gun that kills Todd?
They didn't have enough video surveillance evidence the first time, but more has certainly accumulated since then. We last saw the mystery woman get into a cab, and in what police believe is her image, again, she gets dropped off at a big box store just a mile from the Chance household. And again, she emerges from that location having changed her clothes, and she leaves. At 10:10 a.m., the figure is seen even closer to the Chance household, running. And moments later, right around the corner from the Chances, the figure is picked up yet again on surveillance video.
Along with the additional surveillance video, the detectives find one fingerprint on Todd's car. It's on the driver's side door, and it's Janae's. They also find her DNA on the steering wheel and the gear shift. This makes absolutely no sense if, as Janae said, she never drives Todd's car.
DNA evidence can be found from even the most innocuous of things. The sweat and oil from palms left on items you've touched can, under the right circumstances, be enough to track a person.
Janae's daughters indicate that she was up early on Sunday morning working, but the laptop is sent to the FBI crime lab where it's determined that no key was touched until after 11 a.m.
The detective has dug deep and found even more compelling video taken before the murder.
1 week before Todd's murder, Weaver finds that Janae purchases something at the big box store where the mystery woman used a payphone to call a cab. There is video of Janae walking up to the store greeter and making what appeared to be a phone gesture. The greeter pointed her in the direction of a payphone. It was later she made a purchase there and left.
Police know Janae has a work cell and a personal cell, so why would she need to know where the payphone is located in the big box store, the same store where the suspect makes a phone call the day Todd Chance was shot?
This may just be circumstantial, but the detectives have worked hard to bring everything together for the DA. But will this be enough?
On December 1st, 2016, 3 years after her first arrest, Jana is pulled over by police as she leaves work. At first, it appears to be for a traffic violation, but the detective is very familiar to her. He arrests Jana Chance and charges her with first-degree murder again. The CSI crime scene experience in Vegas offers many valuable lessons that the killer of Todd Chance could have learned, like using a payphone instead of a cell phone. And a week before the murder, Jana Chance appears to be asking the location of the payphone at the same big box store the mystery woman is tracked to. Jana is arrested again, but is there enough evidence this time to try her in court for murder? The day of Jana's arrest, detectives bring her eldest daughter in for questioning.
When you showed up, what was your work?
He was doing laundry. And I even asked her where Todd was.
Okay. What'd she tell you?
She said he was at like a gun show with his dad.
Is there anything else that went on that day that you thought was odd? How about your mom? Was she reacting the way you would think a wife would react?
Yeah.
She got told that her husband was murdered. By late afternoon, she was trying to take away his motorcycle, his car, his guns, and anything that was actually his personal property inside the house. So I've seen all kinds of grief, but this, I don't think I've ever seen a wife begin to give her husband's stuff away 4 hours after he's murdered.
Detectives then show her the surveillance videos from the day of the murder.
Does it look like Todd's Mustang?
Yeah.
Possible.
Next, they show her the video of the suspect walking through the neighborhood after ditching Todd's car.
You recognize the walk? That's not good enough to make a facial identification. But does the walk matter?
Jessica spots something that she does seem to recognize.
Do you have that backpack? Because I'm telling you, if it was the backpack that I think it is, it's very distinctive. It was a very old.
After she watches all of the material, the detectives ask her a question.
That's your mother? Jess, I need to explain this whole thing to you. First of all, is that your mother?
Yeah.
I think we both know that. Is that your mother in all the videos?
I believe so.
Let me tell you why this one here is important.
She's also shown the video from a week before the murder.
This is the greeter, Richard. She goes to Richard. Works the telephone. Tells her where the payphone is. You think the reason why she does that now where the payphone is?
But later, Jessica believes because she's shown all the videos together, she's unfairly led down a path to surmise all the videos are her mother. The red backpack that at first seems distinctive is later called common. The daughters stay loyal to their mother.
On December 9th, 2019, Leslie Jana Chance faced a jury of 12 Kern County residents in Kern County Superior Court.
The defense argues that the lead detective made up his mind early on that Jana was guilty, so much so that his investigation isn't credible. Jana's daughters can give her an alibi as early as 9:30 a.m. Several people are shown the surveillance video and did not recognize Jana as the mystery woman. However, this was not logged into evidence.
Prosecutors argue that Jana murders her husband after she comes upon the sexually explicit texts. She makes a lot more money than Todd, so in a divorce, she'd have to pay him alimony. This is a perceived motive.
They described to the jury how the Vegas CSI experience is really like murder school. And Jana, the teacher and school principal, learned her lesson and made a detailed plan to murder her husband.
There are all kinds of family pictures in Janae's work office, but not one of Todd. Prosecution makes a case that she has ceased to love her husband.
The forensic pathologist who performs the autopsy in 2013 takes the stand. He says it takes Todd less than 10 minutes to die.
Todd is shot from only inches away by his own .38 revolver. The detectives believe that Todd was shot in his car, but there's no way to tell what position he was in. Prosecution claims that the woman in the video walks just like Janae.
The key eyewitness sees Todd pull away from the home the morning he is killed, and there's a woman in the passenger seat wearing a hat and sunglasses, which makes it plausible to believe that the mystery woman is Janae. But the defense says it's not plausible for Janae to be able to get into the car while it's in the garage. And furthermore, Todd didn't allow anyone to get into the car while it was in the garage.
Janae takes the stand and testifies over several days.
Janae says she can't possibly be the mystery woman because her eyes are so bad she can't navigate the streets without her glasses. She also doesn't own contacts or prescription sunglasses.
There is a lot of evidence that could be perceived as circumstantial, so really it's anybody's guess how this trial is going to go. The lead detective delays his retirement to see the case through. He's convinced she's guilty and prays that she'll be caught in a lie. And then something critical comes to light.
All the way along, Janae has made a big point about her poor eyesight. She's really stressed it. However, there's a big revelation coming in the trial. Police have discovered that in July 2013, 1 month before her husband's murder, Janae purchased 2 boxes of contacts.
The jury deliberates for 8 days. Janae is confident and her daughters stock her favorite ice cream ready for her to come home.
After a 4.5-week trial, on September 16, 2020, Janae is found guilty of first-degree murder.
She gets 25 years to life in prison, with an additional 25 years for a firearms enhancement.
Janae Chance's defense attorney tries to get a new trial, but all motions are dismissed.
Todd's parents are keenly aware that there are no winners here. Their son is dead and their family is divided. Their granddaughters stand firmly with their mother.